friends, and welcome back to AmandaMuse. We're going to be doing a little story time tonight. I thought I would just get all cozy and tell you guys a story. I did just stream this live and I had no audio, so I'm hoping that this is not a problem. You'll have to let me know. How's your evening going? What are you guys up to? Is it even evening? It's pretty late here in Ontario. Where do I live? I'm tired. It's tired. Hi friends, and welcome back to AmandaMuse. We are going to be talking. We're going to be telling a little story time tonight. Hopefully I could. Oh, good. There's sound. Whew. I thought it said no sound. Sorry for those of you that jumped onto the previous live stream. I had a sound issue, but it seems to be resolved. So hello, Patricia. Tonight we are going to be talking about a little story time. And I hope I don't make it too terribly long, because I must admit I've had a very long day. I'm a little bit tired, but I hope you guys are doing okay. Hi, Kiki. All right, so let's see. I'm just going to do a little technical thing, and then I'm going to jump right into the video. So bear with me for just a moment. If you're watching the replay, I'm going to get into it in like 1 second. Let's see. You can hear me loud and clear. Awesome. Okay, fabulous. So today, well, first of all, if you've been following me on Instagram, which is at AmandaMuse, then you would know that this weekend was incredibly busy. Hello from Toronto. I was in Toronto all weekend. There was Bufferfest in Toronto, which is basically a film festival for YouTube creators, and it was amazing, and it fell over like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I mean, a couple of highlights were I saw Casey Neistat, like in person. I mean, I didn't talk to him, but I was in the third row and he was right there and it was wonderful. And I think sometimes when you admire a person in a space, it's easy to be disappointed when you see them in real life, because you're just like, oh, they didn't live up to my expectation, and you can feel sad. Well, I did not feel that way. He was awesome. He's just as awesome in real time. So I'm going to pull up the video here so that I can see all the comments. And hello. See, a few of you are up late too. I see you in Ontario. We're going to do a little story time. So did you guys know I used to be a professional cheerleader? I don't know what that means to a lot of people, but in Canada we have the CFL, so that's Canadian football. And I was with the Toronto Argonauts for 2 years, so I thought I would share that. It's kind of always like a random thing when I tell people. They're like, what? Although, let's be honest, if you know me, I am like a cheerleader. Like, I'm very encouraging. So let's see. I saw a comment about some of you guys really liking Casey Neistat too. So yeah, I feel you. Also, just bear with me. I am a little tired today. Ooh, comments, lovely. Yay, Joanne, Bruce finally caught me live. Yay. Candy Vlogs. I'm so happy I just got home so I can chill on my couch and chit chat with you. Yay, me too. Oh my gosh, seriously, Nicole, Casey was awesome, and he premiered a video which is probably out now, because I found a lot of the YouTubers that premiered videos, they're all being featured, like they're releasing them to the public now. But it was such a cool event. Like, I don't get to watch as much content as I would like, and so that was pretty fun. Lots of awesome comments. Okay, so you know what? Whoops. Let's just jump into it. So I'll start at the beginning. That's probably a good place to start. So when I was 19, I had an opportunity to move basically from Montreal to Toronto, and I was having some struggles, and I won't get into all of that, but I was having a couple struggles in the place where I grew up with like my peers and some family members and stuff. And sorry, I just noticed like a wet face cloth on my wood table. That's never good. So yeah, and so my uncle found this ad in the paper. So they live in Toronto, and he found this ad in the paper, and it was like these jobs to become a flight attendant. And so I took it, and then ultimately ended up getting it. And I think I've told you the story about me being a flight attendant before, but I took this job and it was in Toronto. So I left a long-time boyfriend, I left friends, I left family, I left all these people to go do this crazy adventure in Toronto. And it was amazing. Oh my God, it was so much fun. But while I was here, I really struggled making friends, because I was working a lot. I was working lots of weird hours. I had a roommate, but like she had her own friends and we sometimes hung out, but I didn't have like a solid group of people that I could just connect with. And so my dad was reading the paper, and there was a little announcement that the Toronto Argonauts, which is Canada's, big CFL football league, they were hosting auditions. So we go out for coffee the next day, and he's like, hey, so I saw this note in the newspaper, and they have these auditions. Maybe you should think about it. And I was like, what? Like, why would I do that? And he's like, well, if you think about it, it's a great way to meet new people. There are going to be some confident women, likely, because it takes a certain type of woman to be able to, like, run around in front of all these people with short shorts and have fun and, like, dance. And I did have a dance background, or I do have a dance background. So I thought about this, and I was like, what have I got to lose? So I go to this audition, and I think it was like, the first one was at a location, and then I think the second, this is going back a long time here, and the second one, this was like 13 years ago. Oh no. Oh, excuse me, 1 second. I was working all day in Toronto today, so I'm a wee bit tired. But, and yes, actually Laura, she made a comment here that there's a lot of coverage about the Las Vegas shooting, and I agree, and I don't want to discount what's going on in the world, but I thought we could just have like a little bit of fun tonight. So I hope we know, like, I recognize that. I want to talk about it, but it's heavy. So where was I? Oh yeah. So I went to a location, and we did this audition, and it was all very bizarre, and it was all these very beautiful young women, and I thought, oh, what am I getting myself into? And then we went to the Eaton Centre, which is like the big mall in the middle of Toronto, and we had to do a second audition there, and like walk a stage. Oh my gosh, I was so embarrassed. So my dad was like, my dad's a good sport. He was like up on one of the balconies cheering me on, and I remember looking at him being like, what am I doing up here? This is insane. Anyways, I ended up getting onto the team, which was really fun. And that year, what year would that have been now? 2004? Shoot, you know what? Time goes so quick. Either way, that year, the Argonauts won the Grey Cup in Ottawa. Like pinball Clemens. Oh my gosh, I'm too tired to remember names. But anyway, they won Grey Cup, and it was like this crazy epic adventure, and it was so much fun, and it just was such a cool experience. Like, looking back on it, I mean, it was just stupid fun. So like, we could go to a club. God. So in Toronto, also my eyebrows have like a personality of their own, because I was doing something cool on a set today. I digress. I would be on the VIP list, and I would like go to clubs, and I would be like, oh yeah, I'm on the list. They let you in, and you basically thought you were the shit, let's be honest. But the women I met were so fun, and I'm actually in contact with a lot of them today. Being around a bunch of women, there's always going to be a little drama, so there was that. But I remember one summer, I think it was that summer or the next summer, because I ended up auditioning for another year, and I got on the team that year. We ended up, like, one of the girls had a cottage, and so we did this, like, houseboating in a cottage. There was, on the drive up, there was a bridge that was overlooking this water, and we saw these people, like these cute boys, jumping into the water. So we pulled over, whipped off our clothes, and I think we all jumped in were we in our underwear? I think so. Like, I don't even remember. And like jumped into the water, like just trouble. It could have been swimsuits. It's hard to remember. We were not drinking and driving, but we're going back like 13, 14 years here. So, so much fun. I don't know if I can pull up any photos. I'll have to post some on Instagram later. So if you want to follow me on Instagram at AmandaMuse after this, I'll have to post some fun, like throwback memories, but just ridiculous. Yeah, Candy, it was nuts. So, yeah, like just stupid fun stuff, right? Now, I would be lying if I said there wasn't like some crazy parties that I went to. I went to this one party. Now, if any of my fellow cheerleaders, alumni are watching this and I get the facts wrong, I apologize, but sometimes you got to fill in the blanks. But I went to a party at one of the owners of the team. They lived in like the Forest Hill, the beautiful area in Toronto. And if I'm not mistaken, they wanted to have like a car helicoptered in to the yard, like just madness. They were all given their giant rings with like the diamonds on it for winning the Grey Cup. What else? Oh, there was a table, and I'm pretty sure there was a girl with like food on her. And I remember thinking that was really weird. Like, why does this woman have food on her body? I'm pretty sure that happened. There were football players hitting on some of the cheerleaders, and it was a little bit inappropriate, so there was a lot of that. Now, throughout all of this, I was not single. I had a boyfriend. He was Dean. And funny enough, Dean would actually not go to the football games with me. He was just like not into it. He went to one game, but Dean isn't like a big into sports. He's not like that kind of dude to just like watch a sports game. So I think he came to one game and he was like, I think I'm good because we ran around in short shorts, short blue shorts with like not knee high, but just below the knee white boots, crop tops, like glitter hairspray, like all the things you would imagine a professional cheerleader look like. We did random things, like we would have to do these promotional events, like we would go to a golf course and like hand out water or something. It was like a very weird time, and I'm curious, did any of you guys ever do anything odd like this? Like, were any of you cheerleaders? Little backstory is I was actually a cheerleader, like more of an athletic cheerleader, with my high school, and then also there was like what's it called when you join a league? There was like a league that we joined, and we competed with like intense basket tosses and flips and things, and I was always the one. I was either a catcher or like someone in the front doing like the flips and the splits and all that. So I mean, bizarre, right? The trend, how it like got there. But my life as a cheerleader, there's always been something. Like in high school, I was a cheerleader, and then we got drafted. This is kind of another segue to a random story, but in like ninth grade, was it ninth grade? 8th and ninth grade, I think it was. I got selected to go be on a show, which was Big Wolf on Campus, if you remember that show, in Canada. I think it was in Canada and the US, and we were special extras, so we were cheerleaders on set, and I missed like a ton of school. It was like so weird. So being a cheerleader has like often popped up in my life, but we did 2 years of cheerleading with the Argonauts. I'm seeing here Paige was saying, my first job I auditioned as a monster for a haunted house and I got it. That is awesome and slightly terrifying. I can't even go through haunted houses, so well done. Kimberly was saying, I was a pageant girl. Favorite part was the interview. Only won small titles, but so fun and met so many people. That is so cool. Yes, Meg, seriously. And I'm still friends with like one of the main characters, so who knew, right? From Big Wolf on Campus. Patricia was saying, do you still have the uniform? It would be so cute if Esme also did dance and or cheerleading. I don't have the uniform anymore. I don't know why, actually. I feel like we had to give back the main uniform, but I do have like a shirt that says the Argos, and it fits Esme perfectly, which kind of like freaks me out because I was a little bit thicker in my early 20s. So I filled out that shirt and I'm a little bit confused how she fits it. Like, how tight was that shirt? You know what I'm saying? Oh, but the random thing is we would end up on the field. So at the end of a game, we would go on the field and then people would ask for our signature. So we had like these promotional calendars. We're all like, ooh, like cheerleaders. And then I would sign Amanda with a heart next to one of these. Oh my God, so embarrassing. So that's what we did. But it was so fun. And actually, later on when, Laura was saying, given your age difference, did Dean see the job as juvenile or was he supportive? Oh, he was very supportive of the job. I just don't think he was like, I don't understand. We were so early in our relationship. He was like, I don't really get why he needed to be there. And truth be told, it's kind of the same now, segue a little bit, but like whenever I go to YouTube events, it's my thing that I do solo. He's very supportive of it, but he has no interest in attending. So he hears before, the after, maybe gets a text midway, but he doesn't need to be there. And to be honest, I almost prefer it that way because when I'm doing something like that, like if I'm at an event, if I'm networking, if I'm like when I was cheerleading, like it's a role, it's a bit of a persona and you're working. And so I don't often like to mix my family time with my work time. I like them to be separate. So it was kind of a bit of a like, what's the word I'm looking for? Foreshadowing for what was to come. Nina was saying, I was a cheerleader for the Calgary Stampeders from, 2001 to 2007. Holy crap. Best experience for sure. That's awesome, Nina. I wonder if I would have seen you, Nina. we would have seen each other, because did you go to Ottawa for the, what's it called? Because I went to the Grey Cup in Ottawa, which the Argos won, and then we went to the Grey Cup in Vancouver, Grey Cup in Vancouver, which we didn't win. But I've got a little story, and I'm actually afraid to tell it because I don't want to get in trouble. But it's been so many years. Oh, I'm sure the girl will forgive me at this point. Okay, here's one more story, and actually the truth will eventually, she already knows. Okay, segue, she already knows. But when I moved to Vancouver, I kind of did it a little bit on the sneaky side, and I had a falling out with the team. Actually, I got kicked off the team. So what happened is that, and I've never told the story publicly, so now the whole world can know. Oh Lord, this is what happens when you get me when I'm tired. My filters vanish. But basically, we were raising money to buy tickets to go from Toronto to Vancouver for the team. And so we were raising money, we're fundraising, doing all these things, selling shirts, selling calendars, selling all of the things. And we raised enough money to get a ticket there and a ticket back. And so what ended up happening is that Dean had left for Asia, I want to say in like May or June. Something like that. Maybe it was August. I can't remember now. It's a long time ago. The airline we worked for had gone bankrupt and he had to go to Asia. So Dean went to Asia and I was by myself in Toronto, and we were trying to figure out a way to make our relationship work. And so we decided that it would make the most sense if we lived in Vancouver, because to visit from Asia to go to Vancouver is a heck of a lot easier than going from Asia, Vancouver, Toronto. Like, it was mad. Now, how are we going to make a relationship work like that, right? So I had no money, like minus money in my bank account. I think my bank account was more minus than it was positive at that point in my life. And I'm raising money, and then we realized that it just so happens that, we're going to move to Vancouver, but like, how am I going to get to Vancouver? And then all of a sudden I'm going to Vancouver for the Grey Cup. You can maybe see where I'm going here. So what I ended up doing was just telling the team that I didn't need a ticket home, that I was going to go traveling with my boyfriend, that I wouldn't need to get a return ticket. What I may have omitted is that I wasn't ever coming back to Toronto. So while the girls and the team were getting all excited about being in Toronto and just like having fun for Grey Cup, and I have a weird story about like a popular, like the Black Eyed Peas, but while all of this was happening, I was selling things I owned, downsizing, and saying goodbye to my family on the DL, because I just didn't have the money to move there, and all I wanted was to be near Dean, because I just missed him so much, and it had been months since I'd seen him. And so, long story short, everything gets sold. I end up in Vancouver on Burrard Street, and I ended up living on Burrard and Davie for the next 5 years. So this is what happened. Here I am at the hotel with all of these commitments for the team, for cheerleading, and we're like Grey Cup and parades and all this crap, and Dean's down the road. Like, I can see our condo, and I know he's there, and I can't see him yet because I have all these commitments, and I'm starting to get mad, and I'm starting to get like, why am I doing all this stupid stuff for cheerleading when the love of my life is 3 blocks down the road and I can't see him yet? Like, this was driving me crazy. So this was the kicker. It was cold as hell. Like, it was really cold in Vancouver that weekend, and we were all bundled and getting rained on, and I was just like not feeling it. I felt like I was getting sicker and sicker, because when you're going through like a stressful time, your body tends to like kind of build up resistance, and then it just goes to hell. And honestly, I was not doing well. And then that night there was like this big party, as there are every night when you're attending these kinds of things, and the Black Eyed Peas were going to be partying with my team. And they were like, so my team's like, so like, are you gonna get ready? We're gonna go party with the Black Eyed Peas. And this is like when they first came out, like Fergie, like Will.i.am, like all of these people. This is like around their first or second year of being like super popular. And I declined. I was like, no, I'm good. Like, I had enough. I had partied enough. I wanted nothing more to do with this. I wanted to go see Dean. And I remember getting like side-eyed, people being like, what do you mean you're like not coming out to party with the Black Eyed Peas? And I was like, yeah, I'm good. No, I don't want to. I'm going to stay right here. Little did they know I was like packing up my shit and going down the street. I was like, I had enough. Well, I get a phone call the next day, and I get called I get called in to the coach's room, and she starts to question me, and I was like, you know what? I don't know why I'm being questioned. I feel a little bit threatened, and like I'm good. Like I don't need to do this anymore. And she was like, well, then you can consider yourself like removed from the team. Now, we are friendly now. So this was a long time ago. We were both children. So I'm going to give us that benefit of the doubt. And she kicked me off the team. And I was like, peace out. And I like gave her all this stuff. And I was like, I'm out. And that is true love. Paige is saying, you turned down Fergalicious? I know. I was like, no thanks. What do I care? As you can tell, celebrity really phases me. And I like left. I said bye to my friends. I was sad because I hate to leave on bad notes. But I was like, bye, I'm out. So I walked down the street and Dean had run me a tub and I had a tub and the rest is history. And I lived there for 4.5 years and it ended on really bad terms with the coach. And it was a shame because her and I had been very close. But then about 2 years later, I want to say maybe 2 years later, we ended up reconnecting thanks to the likes of Facebook and all of that. Yeah, and we reconnected and had a chance to kind of mend bridges, and we have since then. But isn't that hilarious? Like my sneaky story of getting to Vancouver, and like we only had an air mattress on the floor in this apartment because Dean had just come in from Asia and I had just come in from Toronto. And it was the cutest apartment, and this apartment had a fireplace in the living room and in the bedroom. It was like the most romantic, like I don't know, it was just the best. And it was such a small apartment and I've never been so happy in my whole life. Like honestly, look at this face. It was just like, I just sensed that this was like the next best adventure. And who knew that me being part of the Argos would have been like a bit of a stepping stone to get there. But I tell you, what are some lessons from the story? 1, when you have no money, you got to be crafty as hell. 2, true love means you overlook celebrity. I don't know what number 3 would be. I think number 3 is the ability to like forgive in certain situations and appreciate that people do the best they can with the tools they have. And she was just so stressed out because she was like coaching this team and trying to get everything organized. And also I think she sensed that I was like distancing myself, and her and I had been very close. So I tell you, life is odd at times. So that's my story. That is my story of being a professional cheerleader. It was a lot of fun. I met a lot of amazing women, and a lot of these women today, like one of them, this was actually, I won't say names out of privacy here and respect, but one of them was dating a football player from the team. So she was a cheerleader, he was a football player. How stinking cute. We met, like I met Dean and she met her boyfriend all around the same time. They're now living in the States. She's about to have her 3rd baby, or I think she just had her 3rd baby. Another one has become like a chiropractor and has her own practice. Another one is a fitness instructor and she has 2 beautiful babies. And another one lives fairly close and she's expecting baby number 3, and it's just like life is amazing. Hey, so yeah, kind of neat. But that's my story. And let me tell you, post those party days when I was a cheerleader, oh my gosh, VIP list. I'd like walk in, kiss the bouncer, keep walking. Like, who am I, right? But that's my story. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm a little bit bagged because I had a huge day, lots of adventures happening, and I can't wait to tell you, what's to come. But, and number 3, that's right, is listen to Dad's advice, right? My dad has always been, if you missed my dad's advice, it'll be on the replay, but basically my dad was a firm believer of like, do stuff that scares you. And I always do that. And it's never really it's never been a bad thing. Even today, I did something that scared the crap out of me and I had the best day ever. So fun thoughts with Amanda. Anyways, you guys, I will show you pictures. Paige, right? You know what I'm going to do right now? After I finish this video, go over to Instagram @AmandaMuse, and I'm going to post in my stories a bunch of photos, okay? meet me there. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Actually, Wednesday is going to be a pretty epic video, but Friday is going to be a weekly vlog because I'm doing Vlogtober, AmandaMuse style, which is 1 weekly vlog a week. So don't miss it. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.